Hey everybody, Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? I am with Devon C. He's my secret guest from the DigiByte awareness team. In fact, Devon C is the secretary of the DigiByte awareness team, and we are at a secret location at a secret part of the United States. And Devon has agreed to meet with me to talk about himself and DigiByte. Devon C, welcome.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
So I thought maybe we would start by just asking, how did you get involved in cryptocurrency, and then segue into how did you get involved with DigiByte?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so initially it was I heard about Bitcoin initially in 2012, and one of my friends was telling me about it and was trying to explain blockchain to me, and I didn't get it at all. And then 4 years later, or 5 years later, it's 2017. And I'm in college, and there's a conference at the university, and this guy is talking about Coinbase or Binance, or he mentioned Ethereum and Litecoin and Bitcoin and what those things were. At the time, I was trying to day trade stocks unsuccessfully. I stopped doing that after I graduated freshman year. I wasn't really making any money doing that. But yeah, so over the summer I made a Coinbase account. So summer 2017, I bought some Ethereum, and I bought some Litecoin, some Bitcoin, not much. Kind of just played around with it. Didn't really get really deep into it, I guess, until winter, or kind of the big bull run in December.
Yeah.
Kind of when everyone seemed to hear about it. So I was pretty much I was a Litecoin maximalist back then, and then I found DigiByte actually and that's why social media is important as far as marketing goes. Not only is it an undervalued form of marketing, and it's a free form of marketing if you're good at it too, and you can pay for promotional marketing on social media, and that's still undervalued, I'd say. But yeah, so I actually saw it was a tweet or an Instagram photo comparing the different UTXO blockchains, so Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and then the transaction speeds and the scalability of them, pretty much, the fees, etc. And DigiByte was at 560 transactions per second. The block size on the DigiByte blockchain doubles every other year. So in essence, that means that the speed of the blockchain transactions also double with that, linearly with the blockchain size, or with the block size. So every other year it doubles in block size, and right now I'm not exactly sure what the block size is. The blockchain is over 7 million blocks, I believe. It's the longest blockchain, at least the longest UTXO blockchain on Earth that exists. But we're at 560 transactions per second right now. Visa, for example, is at 2,000 transactions per second. We will be at next cycle, or next doubling in transaction speed. This will happen. I'm not sure I'm not sure when it reached 560, but essentially it'll double to 1020, and then it'll double from there, and then we'll pretty much be on par with Visa's transaction speeds. And then from there we just keep going up until we're at 280,000 transactions per second. And that's in 2035, as long as scaling goes correctly, which I think it will. And there are some naysayers, and there are, I guess, some fudsters that will say, oh, it's not scalable enough. Well, the blockchain can already handle, I'm not sure exactly on this, don't quote me on this, but I think it's around 50 million transactions per day. If you take into account the transaction speed, and then pretty much how much the chain can handle, I think it's 50 million per day right now. Or in other words, I remember Josiah Spackman, who's who's I guess the main ambassador for the DigiByte core team. He said that, and I think he's right on this because we did do the calculations on this, or at least he did and the core team did to confirm, but the DigiByte blockchain can essentially handle as many transactions as the top, I think it's the top 50 or the top 20 combined 10 times over. It's either the top 20 or the top 50, 10 times over. And
I saw that.
Yeah,
on Twitter.
And we're still going up. And as far as scalability goes, I'm not going to reveal any secrets for our scalability plans, but if we run into problems, we do have ideas. I mean, I do talk to top developers on the team all the time. There aren't, like, we know what to do if we run into problems. That's not a big deal. It's just, it'll take a lot of work to implement those into a blockchain update, and into kind of a soft fork. Like we've had forks in the past, like DigiSpeed or DigiShield. So rather than a rebranded hard fork like Bitcoin Cash was the Bitcoin, it would pretty much update the blockchain, so you wouldn't have a rebrand and you wouldn't have any airdrops or anything. Essentially, a soft fork is kind of like a code fork, so it's just the blockchain being updated to the requirements that we need to have met. But yeah.
All right, so slow down, big guy. So I told you he was smart. I only have smart guys on the YouTube channel, okay? So at what point did DigiByte say to you, hey, would you like to maybe come into the inner circle or be a secretary of the DigiByte awareness team?
Well, I mean, one thing I'll throw out there is, as far as titles go, they don't mean anything, at least as far as a decentralized community goes, because there are people who do way more work than me who no one knows about, because their face they just don't like to have their face public. They don't even like to have their name public, but they're genius developers with I mean, there's some really smart guys, and they just prefer to be unknown or to be anonymous.
I'm not one of them.
Yeah,
I'm not one of them.
Me either. Yeah, so I was in the Telegram channels, and you can actually look this up online if you haven't already, but Telegram is just a messenger app. It's built on a blockchain. Apparently it's centralized, so I don't really know how that actually works. There are a lot of centralized things that call themselves blockchains. I'm not going to get into that, though. But yeah, so DigiByte does have a Telegram channel where pretty much everyone communicates. There's a marketing channel, there's a development channel, and then there's also some other private channels we have set up.
There's a lot of channels.
There's a lot of channels for DigiByte, yeah. I mean, some like Litecoin or Ripple XRP or just others that I've been in and kind of explored, and I wanted to see what the social activity was like. They only really have one channel. They don't have it all split up and segmented. Segmenting or splitting up work is one of the best ways to improve your own, I guess, I don't even know if this is the right verbiage, but like economic throughput, you know what I mean? Like splitting up work and organizing, it's pretty important as far as, like, if you're not a company and you don't have paychecks coming in and it's not all formally organized.
Yeah.
Telegram's a good place to do that. But yeah, so I was in Telegram for a few months. Might have been more like, so I got into Telegram around March, and I joined the awareness team, or the DigiByte awareness team, around I think Rudy Bauman, who's who's the co-founder of the awareness team. He reached out to me in, what was it, June, July?
Well, he picked the right man.
Yeah, I think it might have been May. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I was in Telegram for a while, just kind of helping out and just kind of getting to know the tech behind it and getting to know people within the community, I guess. But yeah, it's been a really good time, and I'm not really even a DigiByte maximalist. I mean, or like a Bitcoin maximalist is, that's a common term that goes around. I think as far as the UTXO blockchains go, Bitcoin is probably the best store of value, and it's the biggest one, and it's not going anywhere. That's not a bad thing, though, because that means crypto as an entirety and the idea behind it is also not going to go anywhere. So will there be a crypto that overtakes Bitcoin in the future due to tech improvements? Possibly. But I wouldn't bet on it. But I also wouldn't bet on 95% of the things, or 90% of the things in the space, just like the dot-com bubble, to be here in 5 to 10 years. Because a lot of it's just hype and marketing. It's not actual blockchain. It's just, they're blockchains, and in essence, they're just centralized databases, most of them. I don't need to name names. You guys can probably already figure out what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's a lot of BS in the space, I guess. And DigiByte is one of the things that's definitely not a BS project. I mean, you can look at the GitHub repositories yourself and explore and add to it if you're given permission, pretty much, if you want to. I mean, there's it's a legit blockchain, and it's a UTXO, so it is based off the fundamentals of Bitcoin. Though the code was forked. Now there is a Genesis block, so fork isn't the correct term, but it was inspired, I guess, by Litecoin, which was inspired by Bitcoin. But yeah, so DigiByte is as legit as it gets when it comes to decentralized blockchains that are not Bitcoin, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, DigiByte's my main my main holding. I'm only in DigiByte and Bitcoin right now. Actually, there are some other projects that are really cool to me, but I wouldn't invest in them, I guess I should say. DigiByte just works as a transactional currency too, not only for a cybersecurity solution for validating documents. Like we just had VID, which is, and then there's also Autumn ID, which are looking to validate documents on the blockchain, on the DigiByte blockchain in specific. And they're actual companies, and they're going to be using it. So there's some cool things. And then the DigiByte awareness team too. I'll just mention it now because I can't really talk about too much of what we're doing just because we like to keep things private, under promise, over deliver, as the saying goes. There are some NDAs we do have going on right now. And as far as universities looking into DigiByte and at least inviting, or universities that have invited Jared Tate, the founder of DigiByte, go, as far as those go, we do have a fair amount on the I guess at the level of prestige of Harvard and MIT, which the team has already been to, which the core team's already been to. Jared just spoke at Berkeley. There are also some other big California schools, and I'm sure you can guess what they are. If you think about, what are the 3 biggest California schools? Well, fucking, excuse my language, I mean, you can guess what they are. So those will be coming up. Jared's super busy though. He's working on a real estate app that's also NDA right now. He says it's going to be a game changer, and he usually doesn't talk like that, so I have no idea what it's going to be.
So the thing that I like about interviewing Devon C is that all I have to do is ask one question, turn on the computer, and smile. And so Crypto Bantam Clothing, thank you again.
I'm gonna have to.
Tell me about your hat.
I'm gonna have to plug this hat. So this hat was made in the USA. I don't know if I can get it on camera.
Here.
Yeah. Made in the USA. It's on my store.
America.
Yep.
America.
And it has the DigiByte logo on the front. You can get it at blockchain-bowl.com. So blockchain-bowl.com.
So you've got a new website.
Yeah.
And it's up and running.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it in the link below. And what do you sell on there? What's available?
So right now there's just some. It's not specifically pertaining to any one crypto.
Okay.
Even though I am pretty much full-fledged into DigiByte, but I do have, and we do have some more things coming on it. I have kind of just like basic apparel, I guess. Like I have some Ethereum, like I have like an Ethereum sweater, Ethereum T-shirt, some like a Litecoin backpack, Bitcoin backpack, DigiByte backpack, Ethereum backpack. So I got the backpacks for those. All the clothing right now, there's only Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin, and DigiByte clothing. So I might add more to it later as people desire, but I didn't want to make it just a DigiByte store because there are already some stores that are just DigiByte stores.
So what forms of payment do you take?
Right now?
Let's say I were to buy something tonight.
Right now, only, and this is ironic, but only fiat or only cash, mostly due to the taxation laws in the United States regarding capital gains and such. So when you, and I wish I could accept crypto right now, and I totally would if I could buy my product with crypto. And that's one of the problems with getting retailers into cryptocurrency. Because one, it's volatile. Two, you have to pay capital gains if you sell it or convert it, if you realize a gain. And three, not a lot of suppliers accept cryptocurrency for product. So there's just a lot of complications that go into it. I could, if I wanted to, accept crypto easily, just implement coinpayments.net, accept DigiByte, accept Bitcoin, accept whatever I want. But then I would have to, that would take time, or there'd pretty much be a float time, not only for me being able to send that through an exchange and then to Coinbase and then to get cash, and then that would take also time to get to my bank account, and then it would take time to buy the product. It's just a lot of work, but most of the cash that I do have goes into crypto. I mean, my net worth is, it's grossly mostly cryptocurrency, and I think there are a lot of people watching this video who also could probably say the same thing. Like, we're making a big bet for sure on the decentralization aspect and on the blockchain aspect too. And there are a lot of things that do make sense on blockchain, and there are a lot of things that don't make sense on blockchain. But I think transactional currencies are definitely one that does make sense as far as a hedge against inflationary government-controlled fiats that could fail due to messed up fractional reserve banking systems. But yeah, I mean, it's...
All right. So let me ask you a question. Take a breath. Let me ask you a question. I interviewed Crypto Blood yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm on day 13 of a 14-day cryptocurrency road trip. So, and Crypto Blood and I talked about, and you kind of said it a little bit, but I'm going to put like a frame around what you said with your website. But we both talked about like, and even Kat on Twitter, and I put a post up like you could like more than one project.
Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah. And there are some I'm interested in that are 100% centralized.
Right.
That are actually looking at solving real problems.
Right. So it's not like, I mean, if someone just wants to be in Bitcoin, okay. If someone just wants to be in Litecoin, but it's like a buffet right now. There's a lot you can pick from.
There's a lot of tribalism and maximalism that gets really annoying on social media regarding this stuff, and that's why I'm with the DigiByte awareness team, so obviously I'm outwardly, pro DigiByte, but it doesn't mean I'm discounting Bitcoin. Bitcoin will do really well, I think. I think Litecoin will do really well. It has a friendly brand. Bitcoin just has that original grandfather esque to it.
Yeah.
Ethereum has that evil corporate logo, and that's Ethereum just looks evil. But I feel like it'll do well because it has an evil name and an evil looking logo, and those are subjective things. But it sounds like an evil corporation that's just going to take off. That's what Ethereum to me is, and I know it's way more than that. But there's some other things I have no money in Ethereum right now and no money in Litecoin or what I'm going to mention right now, which is Singularity Net, AGI token. It's so I believe it is Hanson Robotics. Hanson Robotics with Ben Goertzel. So they have the Sophia robot, the one who recently gained citizenship in the UAE, I believe. And they're working on Singularity Net, which is a blockchain solution based on Ethereum that wants to pretty much create an AI marketplace. So it starts off with a little bit of data, and once that data starts to communicate, the plan is hopefully to have a really large amount of data and a big network effect take off from that, to have an actual AGI take off, like an actual artificial general intelligence rather than just narrow AI. Narrow AI it's a lot easier to design, whereas AGI, we don't even know how to do that yet. So I don't know how that'll come about, but I think an AI marketplace could be a possibility that leads to it. I'm not invested at all in AGI, but if I'm going to talk about things non-DigiByte related, I think AGI would be, that's a cool project. As far as an investment, I'm not going to put any money into it now because I don't know how long it'll really take to take off. Not only that, but also an AI marketplace, it's kind of hard to make that a proprietary idea. It's kind of hard, you could probably trademark or patent. You could probably patent the certain blockchain and all of the certain characteristics of the AI marketplace on that blockchain. But why couldn't Google just make a little workaround and say, no, we're going to build something very similar to that. It doesn't copy it. And Google has way more data. I don't know. As far as AI goes, blockchain and AI, there's definitely, I think there will be cool things that come from the relationship between those two. But as far as AI goes, I still feel like it'll come from Google. Or one of or Facebook or one of those companies with a lot of data. We'll see.
So we're going to end this video with some gifts from Crypto Mentor 99 to Devon C. So I have in my possession at the secret location 5 DigiByte tokens that were given to me that I've had for about, well, actually, funny story. So I got 5 of these, and then when John Kim of the Litecoin Foundation came through my town, I gave him 5, and then my stock was replenished. So Devon C, it is an honor and a privilege.
Keep it.
Don't grab it yet.
Give me that. Give me that.
For
chip.
me to give you 1 DigiByte poker chip.
Sweet.
That you could put somewhere in your house.
I can gamble on a poker game for DigiByte with this.
And then this is a limited edition. even though I bought 5,000. No, I didn't. It's a Crypto Mentor.
I guess technically everything is limited edition.
Everything is limited. A Crypto Mentor 99 poker chip.
The Earth is limited edition.
The Earth is limited edition.
The universe is limited edition. You know, entropy. We're not gonna. We
And
only have
then-
so long to go.
Yeah, we talked about liking more than one project. And for those of you that have been following me on my day 13 of my 14-day crypto road trip, I've been sponsored by Zinfin, and I'm going to give Devon C.
I have not researched
Secretary-
Zinfin at all, so I'm gonna have to look
Full
into
disclaimer,
it.
I'm just giving gifts, okay?
I have not even looked this up on Google, so I
That's
don't
what
really
John
know what
Kim said
Zinfin
of the
is.
Litecoin Foundation.
But I'll look into what Zinfin is.
My mama raised me to give gifts to
All right,
people,
that's fair.
and as if those chips weren't enough,
Yeah, man, the mug is.
the mug is over the top.
I'll just cross that out, and then I'll put like a D.
Yeah,
on
right.
it.
DGB.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyhow, Devon C., thank you for letting me come through
Yeah, man.
your town and have this conversation.
It's good
and
stuff.
yeah, in closing, would you like to? Again, we're going to put your website
Sure.
down there. And is there anything else that you would like to tell the people?
Okay, so I guess one thing, if you are in cryptocurrency or anything blockchain based, don't expect to be a millionaire next month or next year.
That's wisdom.
Even if you put 10K or 100K, I mean, like going 10x from levels right now, it's a big move, and I'm not saying it's impossible. Honestly, I think long term, 1,000. I mean, there's $90 trillion on Earth. If banking fails, or if you or if fiat systems fail, or if they're kind of designed to fail. I don't know. If you look at what ICE is doing with Bakkt, they want to start trading Bitcoin ETFs, right?
Yeah.
And then the New York Stock Exchange. I think does ICE own the New York Stock
Oh
Exchange?
gosh, you got me.
Because I'm pretty sure that the New York Stock Exchange is also, or at least there's the rumor that they're looking into it. There's just a lot of big money and institutional money looking into crypto, and if I were you and if I were invested in it, like myself, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, I plan to
Yeah.
be here 10 years from now,
Yeah.
and I
Me
think
too.
I think we're here 10 years from now. I mean, it's going to be a different ballgame. Like,
Yeah.
we look at people that got into Bitcoin in 2009 like unicorns, because you pretty much are a unicorn. If you got in 2009, like the year after, or the year that it was kind of created, or 2010, like the earliest I'll see people that have gotten into Bitcoin is like 2012 and then 2011. It just gets more exponentially rare, I feel like, the farther you go back. But now it's 2018, and it's a year after like the big altcoin boom.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
after all these new altcoins, like a majority of altcoins are from 2017, and they're kind of just riding the hype because it was easy money. And it was legal too, because you're selling people assets or coins that they're paying for legally, they're agreeing to pay for, and you're telling them what they're getting. A lot of it was speculative, and a lot of people got burned, and a lot of that's not going to go back up to all-time highs, I don't think.
Yeah.
But it might. But
So what you're
I don't
saying
know.
is, you're in it for the long
Find-
haul.
yeah,
You suggest others
Find
do the
legit,
same.
do your own research, find legit projects, understand what blockchains are actually meant to be, I guess. Look at Bitcoin first, and look at what Satoshi Nakamoto was trying to build with Bitcoin. I think that's just a good, like, Bitcoin maximalists can get kind of annoying. People who think, oh no, Bitcoin's the only thing that should exist. It's obviously not. It can't handle everything. And it can hardly, without the Lightning Network at least, and that's still theoretical, can hardly handle transactions, like fast transactions. So as a store of value, Bitcoin will probably live for quite a while. But there are going to be a lot of other blockchains that succeed, I think, just like the .com bubble. I mean, we had pets.com, and most of the stuff now is a pets.com. And then we do probably, the Amazon already probably exists, but it's it's a nobody right now.
Yeah. Would I tell people that don't know about cryptocurrencies, and again, I'm going to fake it till I make it. I want to learn it every day. I tell people it's not even in its infancy; it's embryonic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the way I like to think in like word pictures. When someone tells a story, I like when they give me lots of pictures. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a true statement, but I kind of think of it as, I mean, it's kind of like an infant. It's not even born. It's embryonic.
Yeah. Well, the entirety of crypto isn't the entirety, all of it isn't even $1 trillion right now. It's like the market cap's pretty low. It's like not even half a trillion. Was it like a fourth of a trillion? Like 250 billion? Is that the entire market cap? It's around there.
Yeah.
So it's pretty low. There's $90 trillion on Earth. 90 trillion.
Yeah.
90. Just think about that and what it's trying to do. And the long term, if you're in it for the long term, I don't see how you can lose if you're actually in legit technology. You'll definitely lose if you're not in legit stuff.
So I'm going to end with this. So Jared and Josiah and the DigiByte awareness team, you have a diamond right here. Not even a diamond in the rough. You've got a diamond.
I'm an unpolished diamond. We'll get to the diamond phase.
We'll get to the diamond phase in a minute. You've got just a gold mine of a man of integrity, a man that's articulate, a man that has wisdom beyond his years. Take care of this guy, and the next time I'm through this secret location, we're going to do another video. Devon C., thanks for coming on and chatting with me.
Good stuff.
See you later.
Thanks, man.
Bye-bye.